Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, and happy Friday. My name is Kylie Woods, and I'm the founder and executive director of Chic Geek. Thank you so much for joining. We're excited to be launching our latest digital event series, BTS. That stands for behind the scenes. And we're taking you backstage with emerging technology-driven companies because this is a vibrant ecosystem with lots of amazing opportunities, and we want to showcase the many ways you can grow your career in tech. So the BTS series will dive into the people, culture, and leadership of technology companies, as well as the opportunities to join them. Today, we're going behind the scenes with Tykans Group, a woman-owned company in the communication and call center technology space. We'll explore compassionate leadership, celebrating wins, and how Tykans creates a culture where people can bring their full selves to work. I'll do a brief intro to Chic Geek, our speakers, and then move into the panel discussion. We'll save time at the end for audience questions, so please feel free to put them in the chat throughout the discussion. At the end, we'll also be sending a short survey to get your feedback on the experience with us today. At its core, Chic Geek was an initiative built for the community, by the community, and your input continues to shape us. So when you fill out that survey, you can also put your name in the hat for a 30-minute one-on-one conversation through our new career pathing initiative to connect with one of our speakers from today. And it's a really cool opportunity to invest in your professional network. Lastly, we are live streaming this event to YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So welcome to anyone joining us from those platforms. We also encourage you to participate by asking your questions in the comment section of those platforms, and we'll get to those questions at the end of our panel discussion. Okay, a couple of ground rules before we get started. It's kind of nice to just set the stage and be clear on expectations. So I ask for our panelists to share candidly and vulnerably so we can have a meaningful discussion. And I ask that our audience members be present and participate. You know, it's easy to answer a few emails during these digital events, and I've been guilty of that too. But when you're part of Chic Geek, you own a piece of it, and we ask that you show up. Chic Geek exists because there's not enough women in technology, and the women we do have are leaving. We are here to change that. We believe through mentorship, peer elevation, and community support, we can shift the narrative. We are determined to help women find their future and forge new paths in technology because this will have a bold and beneficial impact on the future and the tech that defines it. Chic Geek stands for diversity, inclusion, equity, and belonging. We support reconciliation and believe we all have a role to play in building harmonious relationships between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people. A land acknowledgement is a traditional custom of Indigenous people when welcoming outsiders onto their land and into their homes. To build respectful relationships, acknowledging the land is an important part of reconciliation. It honors the authentic history of North America, its original people, and tells the creation story of our country that has historically been missing. In gratitude, I acknowledge that we're gathering today on the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, Siksika, Ghana, Piikani, the Tsuut'ina, the Stoney Nations Nakota, the Stoney Nakoda Nations, and the Métis Nation Region 3. We acknowledge all nations, Indigenous and non, who live, work, and play on this land, and who honor and celebrate this territory. Thank you for your enthusiasm and commitment to join us for this digital event hosted on the beautiful lands of Treaty 7 territory. We hope that when you're with us, that you will also live by our Chic Geek values, because it's our commitment to these values that helps us create a welcoming, supportive community. And we all have the power to shape that. Here's a brief refresher on our values. We are brave explorers. We step outside our comfort zones and take bold risks. We refuse to let fear stand in our way, and we don't shy away from tough conversations. We are relentlessly curious. We are inquisitive question askers, and we are always learning something new, whether it's professionally or personally. We're constantly educating ourselves and evolving from our discoveries. We believe in peer elevation. At Chic Geek, we believe that platforms are meant to be shared, and we're always here with a helping hand, and we're not afraid to ask for one either, because it can be hard to ask for help. We strive for candid and connected relationships. We create meaningful, intentional, and impactful relationships with other wonderful humans. We know that to do this requires a deep connection to self, and that fostering this connection creates space for compassion, discovery, and understanding. Chic Geek currently offers career pathing to the community. And when you sign up, you get one new hand-picked introduction every month to someone a few steps ahead on the same career journey. It's an opportunity to build your network in tech strategically and gain greater career visibility. These 30-minute conversations can help you uncover job opportunities, areas for growth and development. We're also always looking for career guides, people willing to raise their hand and share their journey with others and support women in the technology community. With that, I'm thrilled to introduce Tykans and our wonderful speakers today. For those of you who haven't heard about Tykans before, they specialize in communication and call center technology. But what exactly does that mean? Most recently, Tykans has worked with the biggest healthcare providers across the province to communicate COVID response. Specifically, they're the company behind all SMS communication about COVID in Alberta. If you've been vaccinated, you would have had to answer some health pre-screening questions, and that probably came up on your phone. That was Tykans technology. If you've been tested for COVID and received your results over text, that was Tykans technology. If you've been in contact with someone with COVID and need to follow quarantine measures, you would have received a text. That was Tykans technology. Needless to say, this is a company working on some very important projects that are time sensitive and require automated mass communication about healthcare, something that affects us all. Tykans is using software and technology to take care of our communities in these critical times. Anna Silverman is the managing partner and CEO of Tykans, and I want to welcome Anna to the stage. Hey, Anna.
Hello.
So Anna sets strategy and steers the continuous growth of operations. She's passionate about people and customer experiences, and she believes that with the right people and care, anything can be accomplished. Anna is an avid gardener, and she applies the same care in cultivating her team at Tykans because she always wants to see them happy and flourishing. Anna's goal is to create new opportunities for her team to grow. She's also got 2 kiddos, Tyson and Caitlin. Is that right, Anna?
That's right. That's right.
And how old are they again?
Almost 17. So 16 coming up to 17, and the other one is 18.
Very cool. Thank you, Anna. Next up, I'd like to bring Manna on stage. She is the Director of Business Development at Tykans. Hey, Manna.
Hi, Kylie.
So Manna is meticulous about delivering the best solutions, and she works very closely with the team to ensure that no details were overlooked. In fact, she also has the nickname Mama Manna because she has a reputation for taking care of everyone around her. Manna is a single mom to 11-year-old son, Max, and she has most recently acquired the title Nerf champion, as she and Max have joined the Nerf War Games. So it sounds very epic. That might be something to ask Manna about in the questions later. Lastly, I want to bring Biba on stage. Hi, Biba. So Biba handles customer interaction related to the Genesis products via phone, email, chat, and on-site. Biba has a background in computer science, and she provides support for testing and QA for new product features, which is very interesting. Biba loves working on innovative projects and things that challenge the way she thinks. Biba moved to Canada in 2018 and is a self-proclaimed introvert who enjoys connecting with her community over food, especially shawarma right now. Biba also has an 18-month-old baby girl named Farida, who, was she the first Tykans baby, Biba?
Yeah, she is.
Okay, very cool. That's very exciting. Okay, so we've got all of our amazing panelists on stage. With that, we're going to get into some really interesting discussion today. And we're going to cover, kind of the Tykans why, a little bit about the leadership culture and what you can expect working at Tykans as well. So with that, Anna, can you tell us a little bit about the Tykans creation story?
Absolutely. So Tykans started in 2005 as the freelancing company where we were working together, but we were loosely coupled with a whole bunch of smaller companies, freelancing companies for big companies within Calgary area. And over the time, and I would say the most fundamental time is the 2015 that comes to my mind is we delivered incredible projects, massive in size and commitment to Alberta. And having to work together, we've developed this amazing bond where we really shared the compassion for delivery, quality of delivery of the projects, for the ability to overcome some of the most challenging technical obstacles that were on our way, primarily within the IT area and communications. So somewhere around 2015, I remember when we were wrapping up a project, we sat around the table and the team just looked around and they're like, what are we going to do next? And, as a freelancer, you're always dependent on when is the next contract, and you not always get to have your freelancing friends with you. And that's when I realized that we need to form something different. We need to create something where we could work together under one umbrella of Tykans, if you will. So we decided to form the group, and it's called Tykans Group because it is a group of individuals who loves working together. So over time, we've learned how we work, where the dynamic is, what we like, what we cherish, and we have compassion for each other, and we just genuinely love working together. So as we grow, we always augment with people that would share similar values as well as we do. But that's basically how the story came about, is a group of people that just couldn't get enough of working together, and we are together to this day. So it's fantastic.
I love that creation story, Anna. And where does the Tykans name come from?
It's a combination of names initially. So Tyson, T-Y, Caitlin, K-A, A-N is just for Anna, and our last names ended with the letter S. So that's how it came about. But over time, as we were working together, we had that image of Tykans. Who is Tykans, right? And we figured out that if you look at our logo, it is a feminine warrior, if you will, who is not afraid of taking on a difficult task and delivering it and making it successful, making it another success story. And because all warriors, especially female warriors, was definitely inspired by the feminine group of, warriors. With that, there always is group female, and you can attest to that, normally work together as we help each other out. We learn from each other. We leverage each other's strengths. We complement each other. So Tykans is definitely a persona now of the technology warrior, if you will, that is trying to overcome challenges of whatever's thrown at us.
Very cool, Anna. And I'm picking up on that team and camaraderie that really is core to Tykans, and we're going to get into that later as well. You mentioned that Tykans, that team bond could be formed through, kind of a crucible, working on tough projects. You come together very closely. I'm curious to hear from Biba. You're working on some very high-profile projects now. How does it feel to be working on those kinds of projects with Tykans?
Thank you, Kylie. Actually, it's very fulfilling because we're working on projects where we can see the direct impact on our family and friends. I remember the other day I was having a chat with a friend when she received a text message about her COVID test results. And she was talking about, how efficient the system was. I couldn't help myself at that point. I was like, my company actually did that. And she said, oh, wow, I didn't know you were that good at computers. And now, of course, there was a lot of team effort that went into this. And it's amazing to see the results come out the way they do. I also scored some bonus points, of course, with her kids because they now see me as some kind of amazing genius. And, we work very fast at Tykans. Sometimes we have a turnaround of about 2 weeks or less from the time a project is initiated to when we have to deliver. And because we have a very good process in place, which we're constantly improving on, that's why we're able to deliver these amazing results to our clients. And I also have to add very quickly that in improving our processes, everyone at Tykans is involved. It's not just a leadership effort. So regardless of your level or department, we're all involved in improving our processes every day. Yeah.
Biba, I love that you talked about that connection to impact, because I think there's many misconceptions that technology careers are about the tech, not about helping people. But Tykans and the work that you do is an example of how you can really have a big impact in the communities that you live in. So thank you, Biba. In Anna's role, she's really responsible for shaping the culture and direction of Tykans. And I think a lot of that comes down to Anna's personality. But I would love to hear from you, Manna, about what is Anna's leadership style and how do you think that comes out in the people at Tykans?
Well, definitely a force to be reckoned with. As soon as you meet Anna, there's some aura about her, and she just exudes positivity, just in a general sense. But when it comes down to a work or projects, anything to do with clients, and even internally, let me take a step back. But when there's something to be done, there's a can-do, anything is a possible attitude, and that just oozes through every interaction. So when we're banging our heads against the table, saying, okay, the vendor, right, our technology vendor partner says it's not possible. They've not built the system to do this. Anna steers us forward. She, like the rest of us, are pounding our heads against the table, and she explores, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And after we're done, the futility of banging our head against the table, we get back up, maybe put some ice packs on there, and we start thinking, okay, well, let's put our thinking caps on. What can be done? Can we explore this? Okay, let's somebody take that task and explore it. And maybe it's a couple people collaborating to see, because one person might have a certain view or research it to a certain extent, but bringing somebody else, and I've experienced this, I've seen where 2 people, 3 people come together and we're able to solve a problem. And so in the first little while, I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. But but in the last few years, I've seen how it actually comes to fruition and how we've been able to help our customers with their requests and their requests to make their experience better, make their customers' experience better, and we've been able to help them along that journey.
Cool.
And with and I would say that those interactions come out within our team, so internally with our clients as well as with our partners, anybody that we interact with. And so I think it gives a sense of hope as well, and so that anything is possible. Let's explore it. Let's not shut the door right now. Let's not say no. Let's explore it. So I would say, and then in one-on-one interactions and in our leadership team, I see a maverick. I see a visionary. Anna's already looking ahead at what Tykans can become, how much further we can go, and that just amazes me in terms of being able to walk beside her along that journey, and I can see it, and it opens up my eyes. So that's how she leads by example and sets the direction for our company. But where she sets up the culture as well, again, it all comes from Anna and the team. You get support from the top. You get support from your peer teams. For example, at the beginning of this year, we've had subsequent or consecutive liftoffs where we're lifting up different areas within the company so that it's a process of continuous improvement. We're looking at what we do. We're looking at best practices in the industry. We're looking at processes or things that we can tweak to help Tykans as a company, help ourselves grow, but also, in effect, helping our customers have the best experience. So I think with all of that, I think that's how Anna shapes the culture and direction at Tykans.
Hearing you talk about Anna's leadership makes me feel so inspired. And I think that's something we can all bottle up. And if we could take away as inspiration is to be a little bit more limitless. I put on a lot of self-limiting beliefs. And so I'm going to take a little bit of Anna after this kind of session today and carry that with me. So thank you, Manna. Anna, I would love to hear from you. We've had previous conversations about bringing their full selves to work. And this is part of your compassionate leadership. And I would love to know why you think it's important to create space where people can show up as their full selves at work.
Well, the people, and it applies to our people as well as our customers. We've been very fortunate. Our customers are incredible people, very hardworking and very smart. So when it comes to working with a person that is in touch with their inner self, they flourish. They naturally flourish. They naturally feel no boundaries, if you will. That's why this is so resonating with us, is that their work becomes their passion. It becomes an extension of themselves, where they can just submerge themselves into, I don't know, a report or code like .NET or anything, or even a PowerPoint presentation, anything that you have passion for, right? Having that passion, it really is inspiring and very motivating. Everyone around you feels much more happier, and it's kind of contagious, if you will. A lot of us will see someone, like I remember we were trying to pray Biba off her keyboard because she was on her last day before maternity, and we just wanted to celebrate and want to give her the gift, but she wanted to just finish that document, and all of us were like, we could see her, almost 9 months pregnant, or maybe you were already 9 months pregnant, but she's at that keyboard, and all of us like, how are we going to pray her out of that keyboard? But she just wanted to finish. She was working on the quick question guide, QRC document. Exactly. And she just wanted it to be perfect. She wasn't letting go of it. So, that passion really it feels really like connected with yourself, where you actually lose track of time. You love what you do. You go home and you're like, you know what, I had a great day today. I did this awesome, product what I was working on, right? And the next day you're always wondering, like, now what are we gonna do? So that's very engaging, if you will. So for me, it's very important when we meet with people, and the first thing I gauge, even in our customers, is, do you have passion for what you do? Because if you come in here to just do your Monday to Friday 8 to 4, I don't know if we can help you, and I'm sure we could, but it is a different conversation than when you have somebody who's truly passionate about, what they do.
That's amazing. Thank you, Anna. And we had a great comment in the chat, and I want to share it with everyone. Carolyn said that as a customer, I would like to say thanks for the compliments. Having worked directly with Anna and Tykans, I can say that her leadership style has definitely built a company that I would work for in a minute. So that's the greatest thing to hear. Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Anna, you talked about these moments, and Biba, I kind of want to pass the ball on to you. I would love to hear, a personal story about that just stands out to you about being part of the Tykans team. Of, how does this compassionate leadership show up, and what's a really strong memory you have of an example of that?
Yes. So first, I'd like to mention that Tykans is a very diverse place to work in, and working at Tykans is like working in the United Nations. You have someone from almost every continent, I believe. So the culture at Tykans is a very family-oriented culture. The relationship we have is more than just work relationship. And I'm very fortunate to work with people from different backgrounds and experience, because that has shaped me to become a much better person today. So in terms of an experience that I remember, back in early 2019, I became pregnant with my first baby. And I told everyone at the company. I told my practice lead, and she told everyone at the company because I was very shy. Anyway, we marked every milestone together, from when I did my scan to everything. We practically did everything together. I have so many mommies in the office with lots of experience. We even had like a guessing game about the gender of the baby before my scan. Of course, most of them lost. It was a girl. And sometimes, towards when I was about to have my baby, I think around 7 months, people at work started asking me some questions like, do you think your baby will like music? Have you bought everything you need? I didn't suspect anything then. But, unknown to me, they were actually planning a baby shower. The morning of that baby shower, I was on my desk working on a QRC. I believe that's the same one Anna was talking about. When Rakshan called me, Rakshan is one of our directors, to come help him review something at his desk. And while I was there, they were all decorating the room for the baby shower. And, what was going on in my mind as I was sitting with Rakshan was, Rakshan, you don't actually need me for this. Why am I sitting down here, for God's sake? And when I turned around, I noticed that everything in the office was pink. They turned the office to like a pink baby playground. And we had balloons and ribbons everywhere. I got so many gifts, and I was really touched because I'm a core introvert. I don't really like events where there are too many people. Well, I used to be that, but now I'm kind of used to the Tykans Group. So yeah, I don't have a problem going for parties with Tykans people. Other people might take me a little while to get used to. So back to the story. It was amazing. Like I felt at that point, that was one of the points or the moments where kind of cemented a relationship with Tykans for me. And even after my baby was born in December 2019, they still kept checking on me. They kept bringing gifts to me and food. If I remember my mother saying that, I'll just use the Nigerian accent. I'm from Nigeria. I say, these people at your office, they're too nice. Like every day they bring food to you. Like, yeah, that's how we are at Tykans. In fact, during my baby's naming ceremony, one of my colleagues from the office was the official photographer for that event. Because she's our first Tykans baby. So yeah, it's amazing working there. And I remember we had a picnic yesterday, and Anna was asking when Farida will be. She was asking Farida when she wants to be enrolled in a programming class. Yeah, that's actually funny. Uh, so for me, Tykans is not a workplace anymore. It's a family. It's a place where everybody wants you to learn, and everybody wants you to succeed. Yeah.
Can I pipe in and share a story?
Yes.
So when I was interviewed at Tykans, it was the end of the school year, and Max had finished school, so the school was closed, and I didn't have any. There was no childcare, and there was no camps ready yet because it was just before the summer, and so I had no choice. I had to bring him with me, and I knew it was going to be about an hour, and so I prepped Max saying, you better bring something to read because I'm going to be talking with a whole bunch of people, and we're talking about work. And so he came with me, and I shared with Anna that I didn't have childcare available, the situation, and she's like, no problem, just bring him along. And so it was actually 2 days. So the first day it was just meeting Anna and Mike just to have a really brief overview, and it was like about an hour. And then the next day it was meeting the rest of the team, and Max sat for about an hour and 15 minutes reading his book, once in a while checking over, and then for about the last 15 minutes he sat beside me and was like sitting right beside me, like, okay, what's going on here? And everybody in the room, I think it was one of our peers, Nelson, who just commented on how quietly he was sitting, and just wasn't interrupting at all. And they all joked that, yeah, Max is hired. We're going to definitely hire him, but we'll have to think about you. We'll let you know. we'll let you know. So I think just from that particular interaction, that event, Max knows that he was employed first, or he was hired first. and he's always welcome at the Tykans office, and everybody knows him. And yeah, I think that's just one instance of how Tykans is not just a company, but we welcome all the kids and all the pets, all the pets to the office.
Well, I'm glad they ended up hiring you too, Manna.
Thanks. I think Max put a good word for me. Good word in for me.
That's good. Yeah, there are so many workplaces where it can be uncomfortable to talk about kids and family. And so to hear that these are lived experiences and the way that there's an integration between work and home life is really uplifting. So thank you, Manna and Biba, for sharing those experiences. I want to shift gears a little bit into other culture components of Tykans, because one thing that really interests me is your culture of celebration. And Anna, I would love to hear about the ways you celebrate at Tykans.
Well, we like to celebrate, and we have a lot of events. Essentially, we technically could celebrate every day, if not twice a day, for any reason we feel like it. I believe culture of recognition is very important, and we have so many, like even what Biba was saying, we have so many cultural celebrative events, if you will, that we always wanted to be part of it. We wanted to understand it. We want to discover it. So we celebrate pretty much everything. So birthdays, anniversaries, how long success of the project, successful of even at tasks. And then we celebrate the random days like Donut Day. We delivered donuts to everybody. We went with Calgary, really good company. I forgot the name of them, but
Jelly Motter.
jelly modern donuts, and we deliver donuts to everybody just to give a little bit of a sweet recognition out of random. It wasn't anything that was tied to any of the events, but we have picnics in the park. We have many events that we celebrate together. We actually go hiking together. We have many events where we try to not only embrace our strong sides but also our weaker side. So now we're setting up the gym, and Manna is ordering the equipment, and we have a lot of people who will be our the motivators and yelling at us, one more, just because most of us have put on a weight with COVID. So we're looking forward to embrace that and maybe lose a few pounds in the office. I'm just trying to think what else we do. I think there's a picture in the middle here when we celebrated snow. So having ladies from tropical countries, like I see two of them, they've never been subjected to the Calgary nuclear winter. So what we told them is like, what would be fun? Why don't you get a glass of water and just throw it in the air? So that's what they did. You can see we were throwing out water outside, and the girls have never seen it before. So that was, it's really nice. That's those little things that we do. As you can see, we have pajama days as well, and many many other things. We have a masseuse that comes into the office, and she tortures us or helps us with our back, or depending what we're dealing with. So we also share our profits together. So we do have a profit sharing option for employees. So if we do well, profits are greater, we share it. If we're doing not so well, there's always some incentive and profit, something that we can share with employees. So there's monetary recognition, there's food on the table pretty much all the time, and that keeps Biba happy. We do a lot of little special things for each other. Like we have a juicer that on occasions we will try a new recipe, and the winner so far is cilantro, celery, and apple. If you mix those three together, it is just unbelievable juice. So there's a lot of little things as well like that.
Amazing, Anna. Thank you. That's like a lot of things and ways to celebrate. I'm not always very good at celebrating wins and recognizing small moments. And I'd love to hear from Manna. Do you have any advice on how we can all live by that Tykans culture a little bit more to celebrate our own wins?
To be honest, I've in the past struggled with that as well. I'm always so in a hurry to get on and get things done, that I've learned that in recent years to slow down and celebrate those wins. So as a having a moment to think about, running through some exercises and thinking back of some of my fondest memories, and it's often with people, surrounded by people, laughing, and I think remembering that or just tapping into that helps me be in a place of, okay, what's a memory that we can create around whatever it is, if it's donut day, or if I think it's time for a pajama day, or what, we did amazing on that, let's celebrate that. I think it comes down to, and I think this is like, this is a word that's been thrown around a lot lately, but mindfulness. And I think just being mindful of the positives and ways that we can lift each other up, right? Especially in this last year, we've had to make be more intentional about celebrations or getting together or sharing positive comments with each other, or recognizing that someone's did something, and you don't know what someone's going through, right, in their personal life. There might be a lot going on. So I think just having that mindset and knowing that everyone's going through their own journey, but we're here together, that I think that is just a reminder to me. And I'm constantly reminded in seeing others celebrate or making positive comments or lifting each other up. So I think it's, you can contribute, but also observing and learning from others. I think that's how we support each other and making sure that we are celebrating our wins. Yeah.
So slow down, ask yourself, where can I create a memory out of this? And, you know, we are seeing this recognition, this Tykans recognition culture already showing up in the chat. We've had some really beautiful comments today with some positive recognition. So thank you everyone for participating in that and living by the Tykans and Chic Geek values today. This is very cool. Okay, so I want to spend some time exploring, you know, what can people expect working at Tykans? And we've covered a lot of that on the culture side already. Anna, you know, are there any other perks that team members have access to at Tykans?
Yes, and we enhancing it all the time too. So as part of the liftoffs, we did quite a bit of comprehensive research around, you know, what makes people happy, what makes them, you know, come to the office and be excited about it. So we have standard offers like benefits, extended health benefits, including cardio or any of the acupuncture. But as well, we have also the RSP matching and contribution, random vacation time. So you have your vacation time, but then on occasions we choose to, you know, maybe give everybody a day off or choose to do half day, as well as if you do want to go. So there's a lot of provisions for personal life. So if, for example, you would like to take your animal to vet, I know you're not sick and no one else is, there is no qualifier for that, but we believe that, you know, people, life has to take place and this is part of who you are. So absolutely go and take care of your pet. And then I'm sure we'll find a way to work this out. And we always do. So there's not necessarily, the focus is around a person as a human being and being able to still be able to accommodate other responsibilities. We do have gym, like we mentioned, Manna is working on the equipment for us. We have the spa room where the masseuse comes in. There's a hair salon as well that we have to get fully set up, and we'll be looking at after COVID in terms of services. We have I think the most prominent one is the kitchen. As you can see here, it's a full kitchen with the stove, induction stove, and industrial venting. So we can actually cook, bake. As you see the cabinets here, one of the cabinets is dedicated for teas from all over the world. So because everyone comes from a different part of the world, they have their favorite tea. We have people who prefer caffeinated versus decaffeinated. So we have a lot of very different teas. One cabinet is just dedicated to spices, just because everyone likes their own spices. So we do have it. The kitchen is fully stocked at all times. I think if you were stuck in the office, you could survive there for a year at least. With even now, which we haven't restocked over COVID, because there's dry food, there's the cereals, there's on regular basis we have fruits and vegetables and snacks that they're set up at this long table here. I think we even have snacks now, but they're sealed. They're more COVID friendly wrapping. In the past, it was more open. We also make our own kombucha. And kimchi. So those are, I've never had kimchi better in my life. Never knew what kimchi was until the girls made it. And it was just unbelievable. You know, how the richness of the flavor. I don't know if Biba, if we got you to try kimchi yet, but it is unbelievable. You might have been on maternity when we discovered that recipe. But so yes, there's a lot of perks of this kind. And And I think another one is in terms of monetary. Something new that we do is the profit sharing for sure. So, like I mentioned, if we're doing well, there's the amount pool of money is larger. Then we divide it to employees and we share profits amongst them because all of us work towards it. Every one of us contributed, and if it wasn't for the contribution of every single person on the team, we wouldn't be successful. So recognizing that and giving back to the team certainly helps us in, having to assist them in their lives as well.
Amazing, Anna. That's very comprehensive. Thank you. Manna, you've worked at Tykans for 3 years now. You've held a variety of roles. What makes you stay at Tykans, and can you share a little bit about the advancement journey and how Tykans has helped grow your career?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it is coming up on 3 years, and I would say the reason I stay, and I think anybody stays at a company, is first and foremost the people that you're working with, the people that you see day in and day out. Well, pre-COVID, that you're working with 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, or more. Go ebbs and flows. But I think first and foremost, it's the people that you're working with. That's super key. And then second is the work. Are you finding yourself growing? Right? Are you providing value? I know for me, I want to know that I'm adding value. I'm adding value to a company, to making impacts to, our customers. So there's two aspects. And then the third is the growth opportunity. And I think with, if you're continually learning and expanding your skill sets and experience, that adds to reasons why you would stay at any organization. So for myself, I originally came in as a business analyst, quickly took on a project and moved into project management, and then and I think that was a really great experience because I was hands-on in the trenches, helping customers stand up their projects, deploying, going live. So you get a feel of all the nuances, and then you also experience how that's done successfully. And then being offered the opportunity to move into a business development role, it was definitely something I was scared of entering because it was not something that I've had experience doing formally, professionally. But I think this is where Anna's vision comes in, is she saw something in me that I could do that, and I could do that well. And so, and you hear this, you're not growing unless you're uncomfortable, right? You're not growing unless you're uncomfortable. So I was uncomfortable. And at first I was like, no. Actually, if Anna remembers this, she asked me and I immediately said no. I took a few days to think about it. And I said to myself, I've never said no to any opportunity, even in my whole career. If I've not done something, I've never said no. And I thought to myself, why have I put the brakes on this one? So I thought about it and reflected on it for a few days. And I came back and I said, yes, I would be excited. I'm scared, but I'm excited to take on this new role. And throughout this new role, and I think this is really key, I felt supported in moving in that direction. And I think this is one thing I've learned, is if you're moving in a general direction, you're on the right path. You don't have to be so precise or perfect in every step. If you're moving in that general direction, that's all that really matters. You figure out the rest. You're going to make mistakes along the way. And I think, and through my experience in working with Anna at Tykans, my mistakes have, I think they're bigger than they probably are, but I've felt grace. I've been given grace to make those mistakes. And, it's not the end of the world. We're moving in a general direction, and that's all that matters. So I would say, I feel like I'm rambling, but I feel like the people are super important. The work, making an impact, and I feel like we're making real world impact, and opportunities for growth and being supported. So,
and Manna, how big is the Tykans team now?
It's about 30 people, and I would say when did I start? 3 years ago. I think I was think it was under 10. And then, so over the last couple of years, we've grown quite a bit. And, you know, in Calgary, where we've experienced a general economic downturn, we've been able to sustain and even grow in this climate.
And I know you are growing. I don't believe you have any job postings open right now, but do you want to talk a little bit about why that is and maybe what you're looking for?
Right. Unfortunately, because we've been so busy, we haven't had the time to put together job descriptions, but there are so many areas in our company where we could definitely use help. So we're always looking for new talent, fresh talent. We just haven't had the time to write up those job descriptions because our whole hiring process is quite involved. And so if I can share a little bit of what that looks like. So we put together a job description. We have several people review it. It gets posted by HR. HR will do a short listing and provide the ones that she's put forward to the rest of us, the team, to review. Once we selected candidates for interview, there's a pre-screening, a quick 30-minute, I think 15 to 30-minute pre-screening, and then HR sets up a 1-hour interview. And because of our current situation and the pandemic, we'll have a panel interview. So we're all coming into the same meeting, the same interview process at the same time. We all ask our questions. Our videos are on, so we can see each other. They can see us. We can see them, and it's an hour long. And then from there, we make a decision, and the candidate's notified of our decision. So it's quite an involved process because we do invest a lot of our time into that hiring process because we understand how important it is to hire because we, you know, on the other side of that, it's sad when we have to let someone go or they've left. So if it's not a right fit, so we definitely interview for the right fit is the most important. I think Anna can share a little bit more about, you know, the qualities and traits that we're looking for in people when we hire.
Yeah, Anna, just a quick about that would be great to hear.
Yes, well, thank you, Manna and Kylie. So essentially what we're looking for is passion. That's the biggest and most important factor. You have to love what you do. If you love what you do, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a software developer, business analyst, or project manager, you just have to love it. And naturally, passion cannot be induced. You either love it or you don't, right? So we're looking for someone who has passion for what they do, as well as has creative mind. And like Manna mentioned, that we don't stop at impossible. That's actually a beginning of our journey. So having a mindset like people say, well, we've never done this before, similar to Manna, you know, it's like, so we do only things we've never done before. So that is not a showstopper. It's something that we do, that we embrace and certainly promote. So you do have to have a mindset that's open to challenge yourself and learn. What training is provided as well. So there's an opportunity to learn, grow, and really not skip over mistakes. We learn from mistakes. It's very important that we review them, because if one person made a mistake, we all could make the same mistake. So it's very important we share mistakes just as our learning opportunities for the future. So that's quick summary.
Perfect. Thank you, Anna. Because we are at the top of the hour, I feel like this discussion could keep going. There's so many interesting things we're talking about, but I'm conscious of time. So I want to thank Anna, Manna, and Biba, our wonderful speakers from Tykans Group, for being here with us today. And I know we didn't get to all the questions in the chat, so I would strongly recommend connecting with our speakers on LinkedIn. And if you've got one of the questions you'd like to direct to them personally, please feel free to do that in a follow-up. We will also be sending out a brief survey about this event, and that will give you a chance to connect for a 30-minute one-on-one conversation with one of these speakers if you fill that out. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and Tykans for sharing your story with us. We're excited to have you on this journey, and we look forward to seeing all of you more as Shiki continues to ramp up its activities this year. Happy Friday and have a good weekend, everyone.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.